Okay, so this is the April 15th, 2021 meeting of the Freetown Finance Committee. The members present are Gary, Christine, Margaret, Emily Ann, Kent, and Katie. Absent at this moment is Bob. He may join us later. Let's see, so I have to read the blurb. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, GLC 30A, section 18, and the governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on the number of people that may gather in one place, this meeting of the Freetown Finance Committee will be conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time by technological means. A recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of the proceedings will be posted on the town's YouTube channel and or the Town of Freetown website, freetownma.gov. Okay, so I guess the first thing to do is to welcome our new members, Margaret and Emily Ann, and to congratulate Christine and Kent on their re-election. So welcome and congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Then the next order of business is the minutes from March 31st, which I sent out, I think it was late in the morning. Did everybody get a chance to look at those? Yeah.
I did.
I think I'm all set.
Okay.
All set.
Okay. Are there any corrections on it?
No, I'll make a motion to approve as is.
What was that? The audio broke up.
I said I'll make a motion to approve as is.
Okay. Okay. Motion from Christine. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Kent, second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Christine
Aye.
and Margaret.
Abstain, I wasn't.
Okay. Yeah. Generally, sometimes we have a shortage of members, and we don't have enough to approve minutes. But I think we'll be okay now. We basically have a rule that says you can vote on minutes even if you weren't here. So Emily?
Yes.
Yes. Katie?
Yes.
And Kent?
Yes.
And Gary, yes. Okay, so that's approved. 5-0 and 1 abstention. Okay. Let's see. So I guess the big item is the beginning discussion of the budget. But perhaps we ought to deal with the last item before that, since that's probably a lot shorter. The selectmen are in favor of doing a joint mailing with us to inform the voters of the warrant articles for the town meeting. We did that last year, and I guess the idea was that we would, last year it was like a full sheet with the description of each article. And we sent that out. We hired a company to do it for us, and somehow it got screwed up. We think it was the post office's fault. They misdirected it. The ones for a sonnet got misdirected to a town on the North Shore, and they never got delivered, and we still had to pay for it. This year, I think it's not clear what we would do exactly for a mailing. There was some talk of maybe a postcard-sized mailing. just sort of redirecting people to the town website where they could read the description there. So I guess the details we'll still have to work out, but the question is, are we basically good with the idea of splitting the cost of a mailing with the selectmen? Is there discussion?
And so was last year the first year it was done?
Yes, I believe it was. Yeah.
I'd have to, I mean, I'm not opposed to it at all. I think it's a good idea, but just trying to
Yeah.
think from a budget perspective, if we're sending out the entire warrant, and like, I'd like to see how big it is and how much finance committee is recommending in order to split it in half.
Yeah, it's it wouldn't be the entire warrant. It would be just the explanation for each article. So it wouldn't be the full text of the articles. We last year we were able to fit it on one page.
All the articles, really?
Yeah, I mean, just a very brief one sentence description. Yeah, so
Yeah, I think a postcard would be better, like you said. I think it would be cheaper.
yeah, it might be. Yeah, it wasn't a fortune last year. I don't remember what the figure was, but I think, well, I mean, we have, actually, I don't even know how much we have in our budget for it. I can check
I think
quickly.
it's 2,000.
Yeah, I think I'm seeing, oh, that's a total. Yeah, I don't know what the breakdown is.
I don't
Yeah,
think
it's-
postcards in a bulk mailing is that much.
No, it
Yeah.
wouldn't be, I don't think. But the only thing with postcards is people tend to disregard and think it's junk mail.
Yeah.
So how do you
Right.
get the attention of the residents?
A Freetown Flash goes out saying, watch your mail, this is what's coming.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's, yeah. Yeah, okay, we have 1,000 for postage and 2,000 for printing.
Yeah, so we have plenty of money.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the selectmen have similar amounts. Yeah, so it was more than enough last year. Or I guess it was 2 years ago, really. Yeah, I think we didn't do that last year, did we?
I don't recall. I lived in Arizona at the time, so I wouldn't have gotten it anyway.
Yeah, I think it must have been, I think it must have been 2 years ago.
Gary, I'm thinking of 2 years ago,
Yeah, yeah.
because I remember participating.
I'm
and
looking
last
at
year
our
at this time
expenditures.
I wasn't with you.
Yeah,
That was the first time you did it. I was just wondering, curious, like, did you get any feedback on it? Do you think it was worth it? Do you think people enjoyed it?
Oh,
I know
yeah,
it didn't go to one part of town, but what about the parts of town it did go to?
yeah, I don't know.
I don't think we
Kent,
got
did
much
you have,
feedback on it.
oh,
I don't
what'd
think
you
we got
say?
much I don't think we had much feedback.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't remember hearing much about it. Yeah. Well, I guess we could discuss it with the selectmen and see what they feel.
I think I'd be in
Mm.
favor of seeing what they've got in mind, and then we can decide if we want to participate.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Yeah,
may
well-
have input as to what's on it, so to speak, so we can come up with a combined thing. I mean, that's what this is, and see if we want to do it.
yeah. Okay, so we don't need to vote on this, I don't think. Yeah, we can, I don't know whether I can get this on the agenda for the joint meeting with the selectmen or because they've already posted the agenda for our joint meeting next week. And it's just discussing the budget.
They could do an amended one, though. They still have time. to
Yeah,
do
they
that.
could. Yeah,
Yep.
sure.
They could amend it,
Yeah,
as long as they found out like tomorrow, I think. I don't know what
Yeah.
2 business
Yeah,
days.
Yeah, they could do it as late as Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, I thought it was 48 hours, right?
Yes, right.
Yep.
Right. And so 5:30 on Tuesday would be the deadline. Yeah. Okay. So I guess we can move on to the budget discussion. So the question is, how do we want to attack this? I mean, it's an overwhelming amount of stuff. What we could do, probably the most organized way to approach it would be to go through department by department and take a quick look at it and see whether we have any issues or questions that we want to address further.
Yeah,
then
has anyone reviewed any of it?
I've
Looked it
gone,
over, but
I got through the
Yeah,
100s. I just picked it up yesterday, so I only got through general government.
I think I got about between a third and a halfway through.
I was kind of looking at the
Yeah,
big departments because
basically,
that's where we have more of an issue, I think.
Right.
I do
right.
want to bring up just real quick, Gary, in regards
Yeah.
to the reserve fund. It doesn't
Yeah.
look like that was amended to
Oh, right.
125,000.
You're right. Right. It was amended in the sideways spreadsheet,
Right, but not in the detail.
but not in the request. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll mention that next week at the joint meeting. Yeah. So yeah, how do people feel about just going through department by department and seeing which ones we want to return to?
I like
Really,
that idea.
however we want to do it. I'm thinking next week, I don't know, Gary, if Luann has updated you. I think there's about 18 people invited to that meeting, including
Really?
some department heads.
Really?
We do meet the COVID requirements. That's what I was told by Luann
Yeah.
at that room at the police station. I think we could get 25 in there and be COVID compliant.
Yeah.
So I don't know how everybody feels about that.
Yeah.
More than I was thinking.
Yeah. A lot more
I
than
know
was
we were
thinking.
thinking
Thought it was just
maybe a
gonna be us
dozen,
before.
but
It is a big room. I've seen it.
Yeah.
okay.
That's the thing. I haven't seen it yet.
It's
Yeah.
pretty large. How many did you say? 18?
Yeah.
Luann told me yesterday that she was counting down the list quick, and she said she was counting about 18 that were invited, not to say that they responded
Yeah.
that they are coming.
Yeah. Now I know that George can't come. He's going to be away. He may come in remotely, but I don't know who else.
I was
I
talking to
assume-
Kim. All right, I was talking to Kim. She said she was coming. She said Gary was invited, fire chief, Jessica, the town treasurer,
Yeah.
and
Do you guys
yes.
think that's necessary in the first meeting to have all those people there where we don't even know what our questions and concerns are gonna be? Wouldn't you think that would be after? Like, let's go through, see what we're good with. If we have questions on fire or whatever, then invite them back another time.
Yeah. I mean,
That would be more reasonable because this is definitely not the last meeting that we're gonna have.
yeah.
Right, the first, that's what I said. Like, I thought we would just review it with the Board of Selectmen real quick, and go over what questions.
Our questions first and then.
Yeah. I mean, they might be able to answer some or not, or they
Yeah.
want more clarification as well. I mean, if this is gonna be their meeting and they're
Yeah.
looking for clarification from fire chief and stuff, I think that's a waste of our time.
Well, the town administrator supposedly has met with many of the department heads. I don't think he got them all, but obviously he would go to the big ones. And
Yeah.
traditionally, in years past, we've always gotten the big ones in, and then if there's others we got issues with, and then we invite them in. Could be just to
Yeah.
our meeting, or it could be to a joint meeting.
Yeah.
But each year it seems to run a little different, and now we got a whole bunch of new people in town hall, so I'm sure it's going to be different.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to suggest. Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering how many of these department heads might have been invited. I mean, we've got 7 of us, 3 selectmen is 10, town administrator is 11.
Luann would make 12.
Luann and Kim and Jessica is 14.
14.
It's
Gary
probably,
Sylvia, 15,
yeah,
fire chief.
somebody to video it. Somebody to video.
I don't know
Right.
how that's going to work. Barbara
Well-
Place told me she was invited
Oh, okay, so that's
from the COA.
16.
Wouldn't surprise me that the police chief,
Yeah.
and I don't know, I'm
yes,
thinking highway, but it could be
Probably
somebody
highway.
else.
yeah. So we're up to about 18 there.
We're roughly 18
Um,
now, and not to say they're all coming, but I think that was the invite list. And Luann told me they hadn't all responded yet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it doesn't sound like there's a lot of departments coming in. It's mostly
I'm
members
just
of the
thinking
board.
it's the big ones.
Yeah. Right. It's
And we used to try to do it one big one at a meeting with some small ones. We didn't want to get hit with 2 or especially 3 at once.
yeah. But in any case, it's not more than about 3 or 4 departments. Since most of the 18 are members of the boards and town.
I was thinking maybe 6 departments, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah. So in any case, I think based on the way things have run in the past, we should probably be ready to identify which departments we have questions about. Since in previous meetings, what's happened is that the chair of the Board of Selectmen has gone through department by department, and if anybody has any questions, they put a hold on that, and then we come back to the holds, and everything else just gets approved at the amounts requested or recommended at the amounts requested.
Yep. But also looking at this book, Gary,
Yeah.
none of the union contracts have been settled.
Yeah, I noticed
Some-
that myself.
Some have new numbers in it, some do not. And there are a few departments, there's actually nothing there. It's just last year's budget as a placeholder. And I'm thinking big ones are capital, like for equipment or capital building. I don't know what kind of projects anybody wants to get into. And
We have placeholders for those? Is that true?
not on the capital stuff. I mean,
No,
you open
no.
your book at the end for those, there's no pages in there.
Right. Yeah.
And on the thing up front, it says see attached list. Well, I haven't found the list.
There is a
I thought-
list. Yeah, maybe it's just sent electronically. Yeah, what I'm seeing is a list of, gosh, I can't see it because the print is so small. Let's see if I can expand it.
That's a problem I've got sometimes. But
Yeah.
at the front,
yes.
page 8 of 8, the bottom half of the page, it says see separate schedule.
Yes.
And that's where all your capital equipment and all that stuff is.
Right. And then there's 2 more pages, at least in the attachment that I opened. I don't know whether there's a print version in the book or not. There's one page of capital equipment.
You see,
And
I haven't seen that yet myself,
Yeah.
but I.
okay,
um,
well, okay, I can go through it if you want. I think it's all represented in the summary, but it goes into the details of what the equipment is. And then there's a page on capital building and other property improvements.
Right.
And I have to stretch the window here so I can see it. There's very little in it so far.
Yeah, I see 10,000 of the
right, for the
town
COA
building
carpet.
and nothing on the fire station improvement. So I guess we got that all fixed during the last.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done now. Fire station 1, they had to change the front, get a new truck in there. So
Yeah. There's
Anyway.
there's two items that are coded yellow, which means that they're projects that were originally planned for the current year, but put on hold due to the pandemic.
All right.
That was highway barn surveillance camera system for 5,000 and historic village school removal of lead paint for 10,000. So those are not currently in the budget proposal, but those were considered priorities last year. So we may want to add those back in.
It may come back in.
Yeah.
I noticed on the historic, there was no breakdown there. They got just a placeholder last year's budget, whatever that was.
Yeah.
I don't remember,
Yeah.
but.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of changes from what we've gotten,
Yeah.
especially anybody that's got a clerk, it could conceivably change their personnel expenses, and I
Yeah.
don't know. But I think
Yeah.
we can get,
Even if the personnel changes, we really have no control over that. Contract,
right.
stuff like
Right.
that.
that you won't have that
Yeah.
until you've got the union contracts
Right.
agreed to.
Do you guys even look at that? The finance committee here, do you even look at that?
Generally, it's the selectmen and the certain unions that come up with the numbers. We do not see those until it's finalized.
Yeah.
And then they go into the individual budgets wherever that particular clerk or whoever happens to work.
And add it in. Yeah.
Yeah. And those get added to the omnibus budget before the end of before town meeting, or?
Probably if the contract's negotiated by then, if not, it
Yeah.
becomes a separate article.
Yeah, sometimes we do have these articles to fund the first year of some agreement. Yeah. So I still think we probably should go through department by department.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we'll see
So
how
you
far
want to start with the town moderator? Is that what you're saying, Gary?
Yes, that's what
Okay.
I'm saying. So the moderator's budget is level funded, or we're okay with that, I assume. So no
Mhm.
objection to that. And selectmen.
I have a question on this one.
yeah.
So just I guess an organizational question.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're moving a salary from town administration to selectmen or vice versa. I don't have my glasses.
They're moving it out of the selectmen's budget
Into the town administrator budget. So how many positions are
administrator budget.
in there? They have an executive assistant and another one. So is there like two?
Let's see, personnel.
They got Luann right now, and before Tim announced he was leaving, they had Tim. So I would suspect they're going to end up with two people.
So Luann has
along with
always
the
been there?
administration.
But
That's why I guess I knew Tim was
yeah.
leaving.
Yeah.
Tim is leaving. Luann is moving up to take Tim's position.
So they'll have to replace her. So she was, okay, that's my question, I guess. She has always worked in the office. She wasn't to
Well,
replace, she wasn't
she-
hired to
she's-
replace Tim.
Yeah, she's a new person. Hasn't been
in an
with us that
existing
long.
position.
In an existing position. When Ally left, I think she came on.
Yeah.
But
Um,
anyway,
Right, so they're gonna, I guess my question is, when Tim leaves, they're gonna have an open position somewhere to fill.
yeah, I believe that they will fill that position. Tim, right now, he's only got like a part-time deal until he actually leaves town. He's got a few irons in the fire he's been working on, he wants to finish up. And I think it's to do with union contracts and maybe a lawsuit or something we've got pending. But the day-to-day will be Luann, and of course, in the meantime, Tim is helping Luann out, showing her the ropes.
Yeah. Now, the personnel budget for the selectmen is coming down to only 21,600. So that can't really be very much more than the selectmen's salaries themselves.
Yeah, that's about that. And
Yeah, so the between the chairman and the elected members, that's just $18,000. So that only leaves 3,600, and that's
Which is
for
parking clerks.
parking clerks. Yes, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so in
So-
the town administrator budget now is obviously the town administrator, the executive assistant, and another position that I don't.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so two support positions and a town administrator, basically.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
I get it.
Let's see.
So Luann will be paid through the town administrator budget?
Right.
yeah, she's working for him.
Right. So the town administrator's salary would be 125,000. Luann's salary would be about 33,000, and or Luann's position anyway, and Tim's position would be 65,000. So presumably Luann moves into Tim's role, and then Luann's position is a new hire.
Yep, okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah,
I have no
okay.
concern. I just want to understand
Yeah,
it.
right. Yeah,
And as far as Luann, she won't get all of Tim's money, and whoever replaces
Right.
Luann will not get all of her money.
yeah,
But the budget is in for what they are getting, I believe. So there will be some left over, so.
yeah. And let's see. Yeah, so in that spreadsheet that I sent out with the highlights, if you combine the BOS and the town administrator, the total budget request is a decrease of, is an increase of 4% over last year, amounting to $11,000.
You look at the town administrator's salary himself, he's up about
Right.
15 over the previous administrator.
Yeah. Okay. So,
That's
so
what
I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yep,
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
questioning it, it's just
Yeah.
commentary.
Okay. So, we'll list those as not having any questions about. So selectmen and town administrator. So finance committee, should we cut our budget? Okay, so
should
we
add
have,
We
Right
should
then.
have we should have the right numbers in there, that's what I'm thinking.
yeah, well, we have the right numbers for us. We don't have the right numbers for the reserve fund.
in the
Okay,
detail, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we don't have any questions about ourselves. In the reserve fund, we have We need to update that.
To 125.
Yeah, yeah. Town accountant. Let's see, so overall, it's a decrease of a couple of $100. Salary goes up about 1,000 and expenses come down by about 1,000. Do we have any issues there?
Well, Kim told me she forgot to put in an increase for Pam, who was her, I guess, assistant. It's only $700, but
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it says, 780 due to incorrect budget amount for FY21.
Okay.
yeah, something like that.
Okay, yeah. So that's already built in there.
Yeah, right.
All
Yeah.
right,
It
it's
seems like
in
the
now, okay.
700 is affecting this fiscal year, not next fiscal year.
Oh,
That
okay.
that's true, yeah.
That says 780 due to incorrect budget amount in FY21 for assistant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just that's explaining maybe the jump.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're all right with that.
Yep.
I believe so.
And boy, so town audit, among the first 7 categories so far, 3 of them have been abbreviated TA. Okay, so that's yeah, that's just an increased fee from the auditor.
Correct.
So that's okay. Assessors. So that is coming down because of salary decreases. When the previous assessor died last year, a year and a half ago?
About a year and a half ago,
Yeah.
the girl in the office died.
Yeah.
And Mike McHugh moved in there, but the assessors themselves, one moved out of town, and this election, Paul Sadek just got elected. So I don't know what. I would think whatever they're getting, he's going to be getting the same thing.
Yeah. So I guess Mike probably came in at a lower salary, and
Yep.
so there's savings there.
Well, he came in based on his years of service in town too. He didn't start like a level 1.
Yeah. Okay. Looking at the details here. Yeah, the assessor's assistant is 41,000 instead of 53,000. And the clerical is 14 instead of 18. Yeah, so their consulting is 5,000 instead of 15. Yeah. So this all looks good. So we're
We
okay.
may see some changes as the year goes by as they get more reorganized, but
Yeah.
since Karen died, I think a lot of things have been kind of up in the air, especially with somebody that was leaving. I don't remember her name.
Yeah. Okay. So any questions there? No. Then we have the reevaluation or revaluation. And that's going up quite a lot. Again, it's a contract for services, so we don't have any control over that. And that's a relatively new thing in the budget. We used to do that every year by warrant article. But since we had to do it every year, we decided to put it into the budget.
We might have recommended that at the time.
Yes, I think we did.
Say,
Yeah.
hey, you do it every year. You might as well have it in your budget.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Any issues there? No.
Nope.
Okay. Second page. Treasurer. That's an increase of 10,000. Oh, sorry, no, that's not. It's an increase of about 2,000. And it's postage and payroll processing fees. So that's a tiny increase. Any problems there? No.
Nope,
Legal,
nope, I'm good.
good legal fees. Um,
I think they increased it by 10. I usually look at
$10,000
that one.
increase for,
Yeah,
yeah, right, hourly rate increase plus ongoing union negotiations. Yeah. So I think was it last year they asked us for a lot of money from the reserve fund for legal fees, and
Yeah.
we rejected that.
I think we might have bumped it up last year because they had been running a few years. They'd hit us about April or May that they were out of money because there's so much been going on with the lawyers. I don't know if we
Yeah.
got 1 or 2 lawsuits pending. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I hate to see it, but I mean we're stuck with it. We got
Yeah.
Yeah, we have no
lawyers
choice.
are not cheap, as anybody knows.
Right.
So
Right. And with all the collective bargaining going on.
Exactly, it
Yeah.
seems like there's a lot of open contracts.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's okay. Management info systems. That's level funded, right? Oh, no, it isn't.
Yeah,
It's
same
it's down. Oh, it is up a bit. Yeah. Yeah, so that's basically licenses. Exp. What do you suppose the exp stands for? $550 for internet. Oh, expenses.
Yeah.
I thought it was going up exponentially.
we hope that.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a small increase, right? So we're okay there.
I think so.
Tax title foreclosure, that's level funded. Town clerk, that's a decrease of about 5,000. And
I'm
that's-
thinking due to salaries because Cheryl can't be
Right.
making as much as Jackie did.
Right.
No, if you look
That's-
in the details, she's actually requesting an increase in salary compared to what
Yes.
Jackie's making. And she's also, what she's doing, and
Yeah.
I want to make sure I understand this, is she wants to promote the current clerk to assistant town clerk, like the current staff. I don't know, that's again, an organizational question. What do they have in the town clerk? I know they had a town clerk and assistant town clerk. Did they have a support staff as well?
I think it was just the 2 of them. And I think when Jackie,
The detail says is, and even in here, if I can read it, detail clerical wages by 14,000. But let me look at the detail, because I did look at,
Yeah.
he had a lot of good backup.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had a senior clerk in there. So she's looking for an increase in her salary. She describes why, additional duties and responsibilities due to the being the master public records officer. A bunch of other things. So she has, and that was a good summary on that. The expenses. All right. So on the assistant, that's where I'm getting confused. It says, all right. So right now she says for the assistant, to promote current senior clerk to the position of assistant town clerk. So where she's actually doing a decrease in salary, clerical wages by 14,000, I'm thinking she's not going to replace that senior clerk. But it's not clear.
I think Cheryl was a senior clerk under Jackie.
Cheryl was
And
here.
they were probably raising her because it was about a 3-year learning curve to get Cheryl where she understood what she had to do. You know, you just don't walk in, sit down, you're town clerk. You need a lot of experience, a
why
lot
we-
of detailed knowledge, and all this
Exactly, yeah.
sort of stuff. Now, the person I believe she wants to promote to assistant came to us from Swansea working in the town clerk's office, so I would think she's
Right,
got
and that's
some
fine.
knowledge.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but she wants to promote her, but I don't think they're gonna be replacing her.
No, I think it's going to be just the two in the office,
Right, that's the impression I'm getting. I just can't
like
clarify.
we had before. So
Yeah,
I was just clarifying when you said you thought Cheryl was gonna be making less
Yeah.
than Jackie, assuming that that's not the case.
yeah, right.
well, I
There
don't know. Yeah,
are 3 positions listed in the details. One of them, the budget is being zeroed out.
That must be the senior clerk.
Yeah, it doesn't give the
Town-
title.
Town clerk clerical.
Yes.
Yeah, the first one, which is town clerk salary, the second one, which is the assistant town clerk, and the third one, which is the town clerk clerical. So she's removing that third position.
Right.
Yeah.
right. So that money's being split among the other two, apparently. Okay.
Yeah, and it's still a decrease because she's eliminating the position, but
Yeah.
given, due to more responsibilities to the other two by giving them, by eliminating that position, she might be increasing the salaries on those 2 positions. But overall, it's a
Mhm.
decrease. And, okay,
Okay. So we're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm all right with it.
I'm good with it, yeah. Just trying to understand it again.
Yeah. Right. Primaries and elections. That's a decrease, presumably because it's an off year with fewer elections. So no problem with that.
Nope.
I'm good.
Okay, yep. Registration, increase in printing, postage, and office supplies.
Looks like we
Total
went up.
increase is about 1,700.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess there's not much we can do about that.
Now with the absentee elections and stuff, there's more involved.
Yeah,
You know, paperwork, postage,
right.
and all of that.
right. Okay.
Yeah, she talks about the real ID mandate too.
Oh, right, yes, yeah. Okay, Conservation Commission is level funded. Okay with that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I haven't
Planning
heard of
board-
any issues with them, so that's good.
Yeah. Planning Board is level funded. Okay with that?
Sounds good.
Zoning Board of Appeals level funded. Okay with that?
Yeah, just looking quickly to see if they change anything. I don't
Okay,
see
yeah.
it, so that's all good.
Yeah, Soil Board is level funded, $1,100. That's fine. Economic Development has not submitted a request. So
Wait a minute,
presumably,
I think I lost a page somewhere.
yeah.
Had
Yeah,
the
so
soil board, the next one I got is public
Public Building and Property.
building and property maintenance.
Huh. That's interesting. Oh, are you going through the book or through the
I'm
spread?
in the book.
Oh,
I
okay.
just went to account number 192.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah, the
doing it
book
that
doesn't have
way.
it.
The book doesn't have it because they didn't submit it.
Well, there were a couple
Oh,
of
yeah.
others. There
No,
was
I
a
have
note
it.
to that effect, but
Oh, I actually, my book has it.
No, mine doesn't. Mine doesn't.
Well, there's nothing in it, but
Mine doesn't either.
there's a divider for it. Huh, that's interesting.
yeah,
Did
I
you
had
get
a
a
couple
special
of others
book, Gary?
like that.
I guess I must have. Yeah.
Last
So I
year, I
have-
think you did, Gary, but
I have
this
a-
year,
I
I
have a-
thought we requested it all the same.
Yeah, I have a divider that you don't have. This, okay, so anyway, in 2020, they had 500 for personnel and 500 for expenses. In 2021, we increased it to 1,500 for personnel and 500 for expenses. And they did not submit this year. So, I mean, we could just leave that level or.
Yeah, that's what it says on the summary at the beginning.
Yeah, placeholder. I think.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll leave that okay. Public building and property maintenance. This is a big one.
All right, what number is that, Gary? I don't think I got
That
the
is
lot.
192.
All right, okay. Let me back up. I know I had it.
It's a significant increase for the police station.
Yeah.
But it
so-
makes sense because it's a new building.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
bigger building,
Yeah.
and I think they got their own separate janitor instead of a town-wide person.
that would be
Actually,
good.
I ran into him a while back. I said, well, you don't have to go to the police station. He said, well, I still got to go there, probably restock towels in the bathroom and whatever. But they've got somebody outside that they're doing the cleaning.
Yeah, but the personnel cost is only going up like $2,300.
Which is, yeah.
So that's not a big deal. The big
No, it
thing, the
It's
big thing
electricity.
is the electricity, yeah. And I'm
And they're
finding-
probably guesstimating on that as well because we have
Yeah.
the history of it.
yeah, and
Oh.
they're estimating $8,000 a month. So, some of that money is already in the budget for this year. I don't know what they're actually spending this year.
They probably had at least a couple of months' experience, and I'm sure they got a lot more lights outside than they used to have.
Right.
Yeah,
That kind of thing, so.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, the maintenance cost for the police station, for the old police station was, I think, what was it, about 27,000 a year? And that included everything, if I'm remembering correctly. Let me check. Yeah, right. Electricity, heat, maintenance, everything was 27,000 for the old station. And now they're asking for 158,000 for the new station. So my feeling is that they're probably way overestimating that.
You gotta think though, new building, I mean, there's all kinds of new technology that goes along with
Yeah.
that as well to increase the
Yeah.
costs. I think it's good that, if that's what they're putting in, let's try it. You gotta learn from the first year.
Yeah.
I was just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they haven't been in all that long, so it's really.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sure this is a hard number for them to come up with.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they, they were running, say, 8,000 a month for January, February, and that's what they based it on. I mean, that's not to say that was a lot because there's still a lot of work going on to finish stuff on the inside, and it might
Yeah,
go down or it
yeah.
might increase. I don't know.
Yeah. One thing that I was thinking of suggesting is that they look into putting solar panels on the building.
I was just gonna suggest that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a possibility that we could do that.
I'm gonna, just from experience, in my prior community, we did do a solar thing and it was quite extensive. It's not as easy as I think you think it is.
To just put panels on. It's not like doing it on your home.
We did like a solar farm though, so it was a little bit different, but if you're gonna go all in, you might want to try and get a benefit more than just that one building.
How could they put them on the roof? I don't know.
Yeah.
Something someone could look into, definitely. I know I have solar in my house and I'm not benefiting from it.
Yeah, you'll probably start too soon, but yeah, mine is not paid off yet. But yeah, that one of the selling points on the building design is that the roof is ready for solar panels and designed with that in mind. The other thing is that with the infrastructure package coming out of Washington,
Yep.
there could very well be money to pay for it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I think we should suggest that.
Yeah, I'm sure they already went energy savings with all the LED and everything that way too. So that would,
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah, I think for now, the increase is fine because we don't have enough history, but to keep a close eye on it
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
and make
Yeah.
suggestions for next year.
Okay. So I'll say okay, but watch in future. And I'll make a note about solar panels. Okay. Property insurance. That is a rate increase coming from the organization that provides the insurance. So I guess we don't have any choice on that. Town report, the price is going down by $500 from 3,000 to 2,500. I assume we're okay with that.
I think I heard something at the selectmen's meeting. They were not going to print as many because they ended up with a bunch left over.
Yeah.
So that would account for the decrease.
Yeah.
Can't that be electronic too? Does it have to be printed?
The town report? I believe it does. It has to be made
Yeah.
available to people who don't have access to.
Yeah.
I believe,
Technology.
yeah, like a town meeting, there's usually a box of them and people pick them up if they want.
A lot of elderly people don't have access to the technology. or
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't wanna be
they don't
bothered
do
to learn.
computers. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's okay. Okay, so DEP hazmat assessment. There's no assessment due to sale of property. Okay, so we must have sold the property that was requiring that. So that gets zeroed
Freetown
out.
Screw was, I think we own it now, but we're looking into putting elderly housing on that property now that they've got it all cleaned up. It's been
Okay.
a several year process. We've been playing around with that
Yeah.
property.
Okay. So we're done with that, and that takes care of general government. So first category down. We're into public safety now. Police.
Yep.
Okay, so this is a big one. Overtime is level funded. Personnel is a substantial increase. They are looking to hire 2 additional officers for $99,000.
I was reading in there, we've got 2 that are retiring this year.
Yeah,
Oh,
it says 36.5 thousand in buyouts, so that would probably be a sick leave buyout, right? Maybe?
yeah.
Could be sick leave, it could be vacation.
Yeah, okay.
As I'm flipping pages, I'll come to it eventually, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the size of the force would be staying the same? Is that?
That's what I am thinking.
Yeah.
But we do have somebody, I guess a probationary guy who's in the academy right now. He's looking to come back when he's done the academy.
So they're not adding then, it's just replacing the 2 that are retiring?
Well, this would be something to ask the chief, but
Pretty big.
as I'm,
I don't
as
get that
I'm,
impression.
what's
I
the
don't
question?
get that.
All
I
right.
don't get the impression that the 2 officers are replacing the 2 that are retiring.
Neither do
I
I.
think the 2 additional,
Yeah.
because they have the buyout in there, so that would be, if they were replacing them, that would be the only cost to the town. You figured you'd bring in new officers, probably making less money from them, so it wouldn't
Yeah,
be increased
right.
99.
They would be,
Yeah,
Right, it
but
should have been
in
a
any
net
case,
decrease.
I think we're going to want to talk to the chief on this, right?
yeah, I would say definitely.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because if they are increasing the size of the force, there's a lot of other costs that go along with that, including that probably want additional police cars, yeah, things like uniforms and equipment, training, and then salary increases in future years, and
Well, that's all the
then,
collective bargaining stuff, but
yeah,
yeah.
yes, but if they do get approval to increase the size of the force, then they're implicitly getting approval for all these additional costs down the line.
True, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
was the bottom line on the police is 155,000 roughly increase in their department?
Yes.
That's what I got here somewhere.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so that we're gonna look for more information on. Communications, they're looking for an extra 14,000, I think. A little bit of it is collective bargaining, clothing allowance, and the big part is almost 11,000 in software support fees and consolidating cost. So it sounds like we don't have a whole lot of leeway there. Does anybody have any questions about that, or are we good with it?
Oh, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Okay. Fire. Let's see. Small increase in overtime. The large increase is mostly collective bargaining. So we don't have any control over that. Small increase in expenses for training. So yeah, even though it's overall it's $100,000 increase, I don't think we have much input
Not much
into that.
leverage anywhere, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not talking money. He's not talking major equipment. Well, he is.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
got a couple things on his capital equipment.
Yeah, capital. Yeah, that's another question. But in terms of this budget, we're okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Next page. Building. So building is a $30,000 increase. Geez, yeah, it's mostly salary.
Which I just have a question on for understanding as well. So it says $23,582 increase to full-time clerical with longevity. Are they looking, is their clerk right now part-time? And they're making her full-time? Do we know that?
Building
That's
and
what it sounds
health,
like.
building and health, we're sharing a clerk, and as I'm reading here and in the health, it looks like each department's going to have their own clerk. That's what I'm thinking, and that would account for a $23,000 increase in their wages and stuff.
Yeah. And then it says the 5,000 commissioner raise, I'm assuming. So does he have his own personal contract? Does he follow under a collective bargaining agreement? I was trying to figure out like why he's getting an increase and other people aren't.
I believe he has his own contract. we got a situation. We had a lot of people they call bylaw employees, and then when
Yeah,
they
I'm a
left,
bylaw.
a new person came in and didn't want to do it, so they negotiated their own.
Yeah, and that's not uncommon. Some people do. I guess I'm trying to figure out who
Yeah.
has, like, if, I wonder if there's any way that I can, or who I should go to, like, to get a list of the different collective bargaining groups, who has a contract. You know, typically, your town
Yeah.
accountant will have a contract, your town administrator will have a contract, fire chief, police chief.
Yep. But there are a few that still have the old bylaw agreement, and sometimes they go several years without a raise.
Yeah, I'm part of
Yeah.
that group in my community.
All right.
Yeah,
And
I don't know.
I
if-
would hope at some time we could change that. So let's say if their clerk got a 2% raise, they ought to get a 2% too.
Agreed.
At least they'd feel appreciated they got something.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
you know, but
I don't know
until we
if
change those laws, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it appears in your books, but on mine for the building commissioner salary, that somebody wrote in by hand, need to talk about this.
Oh, yeah, I see that too. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking off the summary.
Who wrote that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do see that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It might
Maybe it was the
be.
department head.
I'm thinking that because there are
Budget, like, you
comments
know,
on
maybe
other
he
things. Yeah.
put himself in for it and was
Yeah.
like, we gotta talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the next page, it says redo floors this year. Something they want to
Oh,
do in
yeah.
the office, I think. But
Yeah, I'll bet
mean,
that is. Yeah, okay, so shall we put a hold on this and talk to them about it?
Building?
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess to clarify the question, I don't, I don't know. I don't necessarily have any issue with anybody, with him getting an increase. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
understand why he, you know,
Yeah.
and nobody else is.
yeah, okay.
I just want to make that clear. I don't want people to think I'm talking about the salaries and they don't deserve money because
yeah, I think he's been with us a couple of years, so it wouldn't surprise me. He signed a 3-year contract a couple of years ago.
yeah, well, I'm just looking back. Kim's got a contract and hers hasn't been negotiated. So that, you know, just,
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah,
how
well.
that process works. And it's different everywhere, I know. But
yeah.
Oh, true.
Okay. So let's see, gas is a decrease of 1,000. And it's a small number, so I guess that's okay. Plumbing is the same.
That would be the inspections that he's got to have done.
Yeah, okay. So,
Somewhere this
Yeah.
electric is there.
yeah, it's coming up. Weights and measures is next.
Oh, weights and measures. Okay.
And that's level funded.
Yep.
Electrical is 18,000, and it's a decrease of 5,000. When have we last seen plumbers and electricians?
Well, if they don't do as
prices
many
going down?
inspections,
Yeah, right.
and the electrical, they went nuts for a few years with solar all over the place. And I think each one of those was 3 inspections or something crazy.
Yeah.
But you look at since 18, we've
yeah.
been going down.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
I like that idea.
Yep. Okay. Civil defense, that's level funded.
what exactly is that department?
I don't know.
Because I've never heard of it.
They get out if we got a flood or something like that, which we've had in the past. Nothing serious. One of our civil
So is
defense one of our civil defense persons, I think it was actually the town administrator. He said about all he personally got out of it was a hard hat.
It's like obviously they're getting a stipend or something, right?
Yeah, it's
yeah, there's.
It was submitted by Gary Sylvia, so it must be something through the fire department.
yeah, tied in through the fire
I was gonna
department.
say somebody's probably getting a
Yeah,
stipend for that
right.
extra responsibility, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
well,
a
the
$2,600 and a
right.
Yeah,
couple of
right.
other things.
A wireless phone for 500. Other supplies is 16,500.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
what
know the
that
fire department,
includes.
they wanted a truck for somebody and they were putting in the fire department budget. And then I asked them, I says, wasn't civil defense paying for part of that? So we at least got some of it switched over, but it's one truck for both things.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Okay, so we're okay with that?
I believe so.
Yeah, animal control. That is level funded for personnel and an increase of $500 for cloud-based dog license database. So that's a tiny increase.
Well, I
Okay
see
with that?
salary and wages to start with. All right, they didn't write in the number. That's what it is. Okay. I'm thinking the selectmen just did something. They reappointed her, and maybe they put a salary with it. They did not make this budget book.
yeah, there's a note on it, ask Kim, so
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it didn't get kind of like our 125, it got in the summary, not in the detail.
yeah.
yep.
Yeah. Okay, so do we want to ask about that or?
No, I mean, I'm good with it, we
Yeah,
need an animal
yeah.
control officer.
Yeah. And, forestry. That is an increase overall of about $9,000.
Yeah, and you've got the letter there to explain a lot of it.
Yep,
Yeah, level funded for personnel, but a large increase in rental expenses. Yeah, so I guess we don't really have a whole lot of choice there.
No, it's just, I was going to ask about the police details, but it could easily be this new company they're using wants more police when they're out in the street cutting trees.
Oh, yeah.
And it was only $1,000 for that. I'm not too worried about it.
The rental fee, that's,
Yeah, that's something to do with prevailing wage of the people that are on the bucket trucks that are taking down some of these trees.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, per some state
And what-
contracts, you have to pay that, yeah.
Yeah, it went from $8.80 a day to $16.50. So that's why it went from 6,000 to 14, I believe. And
Okay.
like you say, I don't think we can do anything about it. So that's
Right.
it.
No,
Right.
yes, prevailing wages, you can't.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, here comes the big one, harbor master. $100.
Oh, yeah,
Level funded, but they didn't submit it. Do we actually have a harbor master?
We do have one.
Did we
He's
know
got
who it is?
$100 budget, and he turns it all back at the end of the year. He was a former selectman's uncle. I've never met the guy, and I assume it's a guy who's got a boat, and he just has a little power to ride up and down the Taunton River to deal with whatever. He does not do Long Pond or anything like that.
Yeah.
I was surprised first time I saw Harbor Master myself, too. So.
Yeah. Okay. Tell him to ride by my house and I'll wave. Okay.
Which river are you on? The Taunton?
I'm on
or
the.
Assonet?
I'm on Assonet Bay.
All right.
He could come around.
Yeah,
the bend
maybe he does ride around there. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never met him, so.
Okay. So again, no request submitted for the
No.
school committee. The stipends level funded at 4424. So yeah, I think that is set. Okay, the school. So the regional school assessment. Will we want to bring in the superintendent to discuss details?
I would defer to Katie on that because she goes to those meetings. I don't know much about it these days as far as the regional.
I don't think we really have any say on assessments, do we, Katie?
Not really.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah,
It's based by the
yeah.
number of students
That's
enrolled.
kind of what I am thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm willing to go along with that. Okay, so, and then similarly for the agricultural and vocational schools,
I
right?
don't think we got anything to say. They basically told us what they did. We've got, they put up a new building over there, Bristol Aggie. I know, I go by it
Right,
once in
yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
And we
So-
have very few kids there, so I don't think it's
Yeah,
a big deal for us.
right. Okay, so agricultural and vocational, okay. Highways and streets. That's a pretty big increase.
Adding 2 positions?
What it looks like.
I think that, yeah.
Yeah,
we
they've
gotta
always
read
been
the-
very short-handed.
Didn't they come to us looking for money to hire somebody?
I thought so at one point.
Yeah, like, I want to say
Yeah.
it was a labor,
They did,
We didn't
and we told them no.
correct? That's why I think this
But
is
at the
exactly
town
what-
meeting, they decided they would let it go, figuring the town was gonna need a lot more for COVID.
Yeah, so I think this is the way they're doing it now, putting it in the budget is the way to go.
Right.
Like when
Yeah,
it's
I
on a
think
reserve fund.
we suggested that, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
I
you don't wanna-
didn't realize it was 2 positions. I thought it was only 1.
I think they only came to us for one. I think it was the labor.
Right.
So I think this truck driver is new.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the guy's name, Teddy Walsh. He had retired. I think somebody left. They brought him back for a short period, but he's going to permanently retire. So they want to replace him as a truck driver. And then we've also got a laborer. So we got 2 people. And I think if the selectmen think they need it, we can afford to pay them.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too.
And
But
when
if
we get the
somebody's
transfer
retiring,
station, that
don't-
could be one of those guys is moving over there too. So I don't know.
Yeah,
But is somebody retiring from highway, did you say?
Yeah, a guy retired a couple of years ago, but for some reason they needed him, so they got him for 3 months or something. Maybe it was to plow snow. I don't remember specifics. But now he's going to do a permanent. Oh yeah, his replacement was discharged last year, and I don't know. I think they need 2 guys, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so if they already have one, this would be adding a second.
Yeah, one's
Yeah.
replacing Teddy, and the other one is a new one, or maybe replacing somebody else a couple of years back. I don't recall.
Yeah, regardless, they're replacing somebody. That means the money came out of the budget at some point and they're looking to reinstate it.
Yeah, that's what my thought is. That's what happened
what
at
you recall?
the town meeting, and they were looking to us to fund it.
That was the
And we told
laborer
them-
position, not the truck driver position.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah. But that's what happened with the laborer. They redacted a position, wanted it back.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm wondering if the truck driver's new or if they had 2 at one point, got rid of one.
I
do
don't
we
know.
wanna
That, yeah, I think we ought to ask about it
Yeah.
just to see if there are actually 2 completely unfunded positions they want to fund for 88,000, or if we got money. Well, I don't know.
yeah. Okay, yeah,
I'm
since
just
we,
unsure if somebody retired or if they're replacing somebody, it shouldn't be a whole new salary.
Right.
No, that's
Right.
true. That's true. That's what I'm trying to find right now.
Or it might not even be the difference because they might be coming in at a lower rate.
Okay, so it is,
So
it
I would-
doesn't say who's what, but it does mention Teddy in the book. FY
Yeah, he's
20, the
the
position was
truck
not
driver.
funded in 21, so that's reinstating, I don't know if that's the truck driver or the laborer. But anyway, it says it will also hire one additional employee as the department was previously understaffed. So it is basically one new position and one that wasn't funded last
Oh,
year.
okay,
They
right.
needed, that wasn't funded.
Yeah,
I just don't know which is which, because he lumped them
Okay.
into one.
yeah. Okay, so we can ask for clarification on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, well, highway, they usually get in anyway. You usually want some piece of equipment or whatever, and that department's been a little bit messed up for the last couple of years.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, we
I don't
always
think
used
what
to
he's
see
asking for
Chuck.
is unreasonable, though.
I don't think it's unreasonable either. Your point, let's get the clarification. If Teddy's money was already in there, we don't have to do it
And now
again.
I'm reading this, Mr. Walsh replaced Teddy, right? So it said, oh, Teddy is.
Teddy Walsh was his name.
Okay. So it says, Mr. Walsh's position is budgeted to be replaced by a truck driver. So I don't understand that.
All right, let me find that page again.
Page 161, Ken.
Yeah, I got it now.
It will fund a permanent replacement for Teddy Walsh after his replacement was discharged in FY 20 and the position was not funded. So I think the truck driver is the unfunded position.
I think it's a labor that was unfunded.
That's what I thought we did on that thing, but I think he's changing this up.
Well, that could be. It's
So he's saying the additional employee is budgeted to be the laborer. I could go through my stuff. I'm
yeah,
not going to.
yeah,
I
we
just
need,
know it was, we denied it saying we didn't want to fund a position with the reserve fund and to go.
yeah. Put it in the new
current
budget, and
that's what
here
he's
it
saying.
is.
Yep, exactly.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so we'll ask for details there.
Yep.
Okay, snow and ice removal. They want an extra $50,000.
Oh, I got
Moving
a
it,
comment on that. Go ahead.
yeah, raising it from 100,000 to 150,000. Part of that is, or the biggest part of that is due to not being able to hire enough contractors. I think it's because of insurance requirements. I think other towns kind of build that into their pay.
Can I just stop you right
Yeah,
there real quick?
yeah,
I just want to
sure.
bring to everybody's attention that you might not be aware. Once you increase the snow and ice budget, you cannot decrease it,
Yes,
okay? So
Right.
you
And
wanna
that's why it's been
tread
so low
lightly.
for years, because we didn't do that.
You can deficit spend as long as you budget at least what you budgeted the prior year. Once you increase it, you can't go back. So if we increase this,
Right.
we're talking a permanent increase going forward. My
right.
thought on that is if we can deficit spend legally and raise it on the recap or whatever, why would we want to commit to a $50,000 increase per year going forward? That's just my thought.
Yeah.
Well, if you read his letter, in the last 12 years, the least amount spent on snow removal was 97. In most years, the actual expenditures near or exceed 200,000. And he says it seems more appropriate to get a little bit closer to what we're actually doing.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that, but that's my thought. I
I
know
know, no,
we have a
that-
very
that's-
low snow and ice budget, both places I worked, because we knew we could deficit spend. So rather than putting it in the budget and had chances of having us, you know,
Chance of having a no snow year and
Right.
not spending a nickel,
not
yeah.
spending money, yeah. Do you want to commit to that?
Um,
You know, or do we, I mean, even if you have a bad winter, you're gonna go over the 200,000, so you're gonna be deficit spending anyhow.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No, we've
I
probably
I
been
just, I
talking
didn't know if
about.
people knew, so I wanted to make sure you
What-
guys understood it's a
No,
permanent
that's
increase.
fine, that's fine. I was gonna try to explain it, but
yeah.
you did it much better.
I figure you guys have been on this for a long time, but some people
Yeah.
don't realize.
No, new people wouldn't know, And it was a big question of mine when it first came up to me. I said, "What the heck? You got to spend what you got to cover what you spend, And
In
but that's one of
my,
the,
in my experience, we've always just level funded the snow and ice budget. We've never decreased on a line or increased in a line. It's just been one automatic.
Yeah, last year I
over
had,
how much of a period of time?
Well, I was
I
with
mean,
Foxborough for 9 years and it was never increased.
all right.
yeah. I don't remember it ever being increased here.
Well, he starts off in the last 12 years, so that may be when we set it at the current 100.
Yeah,
But I don't know that. I don't go
Yeah.
back that far.
And I'm
Yeah.
not, saying that, the guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He absolutely does. But
Yes.
this is where we can play with the budget,
True.
right? Like it's only okay, it's 50,000
Yeah,
overall. It's not
yeah.
that much, but again, we're committing to 50,000 per year. That's a position for some people,
yeah.
That's true.
you know.
Let's see what the new town administrator says about it in our meeting next week.
Yeah, yeah, I had suggested an increase last year to the selectmen, and basically Lisa shot it down for exactly
Yeah.
the reason that Christine is
Exactly.
saying.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense. If you go over $50,000 of your budget and you need to raise it on the recap to make up for it, it's not affecting your taxpayer.
Yeah,
It's not costing the taxpayer anything else.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't like if we didn't do that and we put it in the budget, by raising on the recap and deficit spending, it's not like it's going to cost the average taxpayer $500 a year.
Yeah.
It's going to be unnoticeable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Well, it's
And it's a
something
common practice.
definitely up for discussion. So yeah.
yeah. So we should put a hold on that and discuss that with the selectmen. Okay, so street lighting, that's coming down substantially due to LEDs.
Mhm.
Yep.
So I assume no issues with that.
No question that I know of.
Trash collection and disposal. That is a reduction of $25 out of $500,000.
Every dollar counts, right? They just want to be able to say they reduced their budget.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we got a new
So-
health agent, so she's working for us. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so we're all right with that.
We
Can
kind of
ask-
have to be. We can't do much about it.
We can ask them why they didn't reduce it by 26.
Well, I think that's another new contract that's going to be coming up. I think I've heard George discussing it as Board of
Yes.
Health.
Right. Yeah.
So
Right,
that may get changed before town meeting anyway. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, transfer station. That's a big increase.
Mhm.
That's $40,000 worth of mattresses we got rid of, and we did give them a transfer out of our fund.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
is that what the whole thing is for the year on them?
What's your question? I don't understand.
No, is that where the whole change in their budget is? Is everything else basically the same?
No.
No,
Well,
salaries
well-
are different.
there's 13,700 for an additional per diem employee and 41,700 for supervisor position.
So again, is that a new position? Yeah.
Yes, I believe
I believe the
so.
supervisor is, because that used to be, the Board of Health used to oversee that. We got a new health agent. She didn't want any part of it. So we made the attendant down there that's been there forever. We made her the person in charge. So she got a raise, and then I think at one point she was looking for somebody to replace her, working out in the transfer station, if you will.
Yeah, there's really not an explanation given on that, just an amount. It is
Okay.
an explanation on the part-time, but
All right.
So would it be Victoria that would move up to the supervisor position for this
Yeah,
salary and then
yes.
wants to hire somebody else?
Wondering what
Yeah.
additional work they're doing.
well, I mean, that wouldn't be, I don't know, it's not clear.
Yeah, I think she's definitely moving up to that position.
she's moving
Yeah.
up. She's got paper responsibility that the Board of Health used to take care of. She got a raise based on that. That's what I hear. And then I don't know. Yeah, I think she was looking for somebody a while back too, and we didn't give it to her. And
Right.
something to do with these
Right. They wanted
mattresses.
somebody from, was it from the highway department, wanted to transfer?
There were maybe one or two guys in the highway wanting to move over to the trash or the transfer station, if you will.
Yeah.
And until the money's there, they can't do that.
I
Right.
think they found the money somewhere. I think we turned him down for a reserve fund transfer.
Yeah,
Told him to find the
right.
money elsewhere, and I remember reading in some Board of Selectmen minutes, and it referenced that and said they did find the money elsewhere. So I think they
Oh.
might have already transferred.
That could be. I don't recall all that. All right.
Oh, but that would just be for the 1 year, for the current year, right?
Well,
Yeah, until the new fiscal year,
So
and then
they would need to budget for it for future, right?
right.
yeah, which
Yeah.
is what they're trying to do now, I believe.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't, but again, it's not clear.
Yeah. So we
True.
want to ask, we want
And
to
it's,
ask
you know,
about this? Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should ask her, just to get clarification.
All right, then. I got no problem with that.
Yeah. Okay. Cemetery.
Mike McHugh.
It's about a $3,000 increase. Looks like most of it is personnel.
Due to minimum wage increase.
Minimum wage increase.
So, yeah, that's that.
Well,
And
he's
then
got
eight-
about
That would
some
affect the
40
mowing
cemeteries,
expenses, too.
and he hires out contractors for most of them.
Yeah.
And they tend to go up a little every year.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, mowing expenses have been going up because they had somebody who was doing it on a volunteer basis who can't do that anymore. Is that right?
that
I
was
think-
the Assonet Burial Ground.
Right.
If you're familiar with it, I don't know if you've ever been down there, but and the guy
Yeah.
lives right in the neighborhood, and he was doing it voluntarily. But I mean, as a senior, and maybe
Yeah.
he just can't do it anymore. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a small increase. So we're okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, hear
Yeah,
anything?
I think so. Yeah.
Health inspection. That's about $2,000 in salaries and 4,000 for filing equipment.
It's 12,000 in salaries.
12. Oh, yeah, yep. Good catch. Okay. I'd have to look at the details to understand
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
that.
So I think they're looking to the Victoria, I'm guessing, is a part-time employee right now working 19 hours a week, and they want her to work 36. Does that
Okay.
name sound familiar, Kent?
I thought she was already working 36, but she wanted somebody else to move up to that.
Well, it says on the backup, it says Victoria 19 hours a week and what level funded, but then on the summary detail, it says Victoria to 36 hours per week.
Okay, I see that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then no
Okay.
Nadine, I don't know who Nadine is, but that's the decrease.
Nadine would have been she was the clerk in the building and help.
Okay,
And as we said before, building's gonna have their full-time, and she'd be in the health department full-time.
okay. Right, so before she was making 22,000 working and Victoria's gonna make 33, so it's the net, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all
You know, just
right.
one thing with,
Yeah.
and I'm sure other people think of this, but when you I don't know what their collective bargaining agreement says. I know in my experience, typically an employee under 20 hours does not receive benefits. Once
Right.
they
True.
go full-time, they become a benefited position. So
Right.
even back
True.
on the other one, you know, increasing her is not only an increase in, you know, salary for this department, it's also an increase in
Well,
other.
Nadine was splitting her
Right.
time between the two departments, so she was getting full-time benefits. It's just that they put her on one side and they put somebody new on the other side, so we added a new position with benefits.
Right, but the increase in the other part-time one, I'd have to go back and see, would be an increase in benefits.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's something to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So do we want to ask about this or no?
I don't have any issue, no.
No, okay.
I
Okay.
don't have any
Okay.
I don't have any issue with any of the salaries, like the ones I think, I just looking for clarification. How's it working
Right.
now? Like, you know,
Yeah.
what
Yeah, all
exactly
right.
are you looking to do? This one I think I understand.
No, that kind of makes sense. I mean, we ought to clarify some of these if
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah. So do we want to ask for
I'm
clarification?
sure
on
it's a
that?
very simple answer, and we're all set, and that's good. But
Yeah. But I mean, do we want to ask and get that clarification?
what do you think, Christine? You want to ask them?
I guess it can't hurt. I mean, I think I understand this one though, but it's just when they're putting names in, that's where I'm getting confused because I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
hard. It takes
You
a
know,
while to know
who's
Yeah,
Nadine?
everybody.
Who's Victoria? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Um,
Tanya, who's Tanya? She's getting $545.
Yeah.
no,
Right.
she's the new health inspector. I see her at the selectmen meeting, but I've never met her. I think Peter can answer a lot of these questions next
He
week when
should
we
be.
see him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Council on Aging.
I may know more background there than somebody else, but
Yeah,
ask a
well,
question and I'll see if I
it's
can.
it's level funded.
Right, that's
Should
what
be
they were told.
It says should be reduced due to staffing changes.
Well, with COVID, the building has been closed. It's very limited access for outside people. You can go in there and do paperwork or something, but that's it. You don't go to meals, you
Yeah.
don't go to bingo, you don't do any of that stuff. And the only people working in there are either like the van drivers, they can work in there doing other things, or
Yeah.
the board of directors can go in there and do things. You know, like when food gets donated, they got to
Yeah.
put it away and this and that.
Yeah, but I mean, did anybody's hours get cut or anything? I know because of COVID. I mean, I don't think.
Well, there's been other things going on. Barbara was out for a while after a tragedy in her family, so her work got behind. The senior clerk has had a couple of surgeries this year, so she's been out for a number of weeks.
Mm.
They're
I
both
think it
back
makes
now.
sense to level fund it, knowing that COVID is hopefully nearing its end. And
Yeah.
I agree.
I hate for them to be short-staffed when, you know, things come to fruition here and, you know, back to.
Yeah. Right.
Well, the selectmen just added somebody that COVID money is paying for.
That's dangerous too, though, because, you know, that money is gonna run out and the town will
Yeah.
have to fund it at some point if they want to keep the position, otherwise we.
No, that's true, and I think the COA has been understaffed for a number of years. They basically had the full-time director, one full-time clerk, a part-time clerk, probably 19 hours, and that's it. And that's really not enough for all the programs they run when they are running.
Right.
They've also had people driving the vans. And there's a note in there, one of them just retired and they're going to replace them, but not until we need more drivers, meaning this COVID's over.
Yeah.
That idea, but.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'm fine with level funding.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. What's
And
next?
oh yeah, something else on the COA. The senior clerk is retiring in December,
Yeah, I see that.
and some of what she put in for, talking to the director, is somebody to come in about 4 months early to learn that job.
Yep.
Because some things they
Yeah.
do is only once a month, balancing out certain things.
Yeah. Okay.
What's next, veterans?
Let's see. Next is Veterans Services. That's what? Okay, Veterans Services level funded request. We're okay
That
with
sounds
that.
good. Yeah, I'm good with that. We used to have a veterans agent. He'd be in about 3 months early because he got hit with 2 more people. But he's pretty much level as far as what he has to do. He gets people placed where they got to be so the town doesn't have to pay, and that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Okay.
the money, yep.
Memorial and Veterans Day, level funded, $2,200. No problem there, right?
No problems.
Library. They seem to be transferring $44.98 from personnel to expenses. Yeah, otherwise level. Okay with that?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like how they did that. Rather than just doing an increase, they found money to take from somewhere else
Right.
to keep it level funded. Technically, it's level funded in the overall.
Yes. Yeah.
That's true. They're going to be looking for a new facility, but
Yeah.
we haven't quite got there yet. We had a building meeting last night,
Okay.
and crazy money for new
Town hall. We
library.
need a new town hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another building
Yeah.
we're looking at. There were 4
Yeah.
buildings. We got the police station done, and then we're looking at COA. In addition, new library, town hall, discuss if we're going to do a radical renovation or new.
Yeah. With the town hall, I heard a proposal. I don't know where it stands. To buy the building, I think it's diagonally across from town hall, and that could possibly serve as additional office space.
Is that a house on Water Street you're talking? Like
I
the
don't
2
think
backyards might connect?
No, I don't think so. I think
I heard
if
about that a while back, but
yeah, I thought it was like what is it, a blue building on the corner?
Okay, yeah, I
Right
think I know
near
where you
the
mean.
gazebo.
Yep,
Oh, the
we're
one that's
next
been
door to
empty for
that.
a long time.
Been quite a while.
Yeah,
They can't really do anything there because of septic problems.
Right, that's what I heard. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
with the infrastructure money coming from,
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
if we got
You can
sewage
use it
running
to
down
water and
there,
fuel.
yeah, it works.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, there's been a few discussions on town hall. They want to connect with the old school building and make some offices in there so you'd have more room.
Yeah.
But until they get a plan to do the whole thing, which is going to be big money because you got to put an elevator and
at my town hall, we just had a HVAC coil pipe burst and ruined the town administrator's office, the assessor's office, part of my
lovely.
office.
Oh,
Yep,
my.
yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Old buildings you got to worry about because then stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you figure the age of our town hall was prior to plumbing, prior to electricity and all that, and it's all been kind of put in piecemeal.
Yeah.
And would it meet today's codes? Probably not. So, that's where you are.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. We're running late.
Yep.
Arts and Cultural Council, no requests submitted. They've been level at 1,500 for a while now.
Right. Yeah, that's okay.
Leave that as is. Historical Commission.
No request.
$500, no request. That's okay. Parade and Fireworks has withdrawn their request because of cancellation.
Yeah, they'll probably cancel this year, right?
Oh, they already did. Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
they did? All right, I didn't know that. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Retirement of debt. We don't have any choice over that.
Very true.
Or the interest
It's
on.
Most of the
amazing, we're
rest we
still,
don't.
yeah.
What was that? I missed that.
No, I
Christine.
was going to say it's amazing we're still paying debt on the elementary school, but
Yeah. Well, that was
and I
what, a
think
20, that was a 20-year.
that could be, and I'm also thinking we're going to have the police department in there somewhere.
It's in here, yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We
500.
got it. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, we're actually in very good shape with the police station because we paid down so much of.
We had a
the-
ton of money up front we could put to it.
Yeah, yeah. We out of the 13 million, we only had to borrow 400,000 on the 400,000 on the bonds. And we did it for 8 years instead of 20. So,
Yep.
Yeah. So in any case, we don't really need to talk about the
No,
the debt or the interest. And the Serped assessment, we don't have any control over that. Right. And pension, yeah, and workers' comp and employment benefits and health insurance, right? None of these things need to be questioned, right?
No.
I think we should be all set. Yeah.
Yeah.
Life
And,
insurance, same thing.
Yeah, life insurance, Medicare, liability insurance, townwide fueling is level funded. I'm not even writing these down at this point.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and transfer to trust OPEB liability, that's been stable at 200,000 by an agreement that was reached a few years ago. Yeah, so that's that's operating budget.
Mhm.
And then capital. Okay, so let's see. I guess I'm going to go to the details on this.
Yeah, there's nothing in our books, so.
I have
Yeah.
the detail back.
Oh,
up.
actually, there is on the first page a little bit, but or the first 8 pages, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they're behind. You don't have anything behind that?
yeah. There should be something with a lot of yellow and blue and orange
Yeah, I
highlighting.
have that.
All right, let me see if I can get back to the. Yeah, I got something with a row of green, so I don't know what that means.
Okay. Well, I'll talk you through it.
I see some yellow on some things too, like yeah, that was the OPED, but
Yeah.
get down
no,
to
it's-
capital.
Yeah. Okay. So we have existing lease cost for the fire department. So we don't really have any control over that. That's a pumper engine and an ambulance with defibrillator. That's about 214,000 roughly.
Mhm.
But those are existing leases that are in progress.
Yeah,
No new purchase request.
Right.
New lease request. Ambulance with EKG monitor. My glasses are not working properly. $108,000 for that. And a pumper engine for $143,750.
Did you read that under
So
the
those are
fire where
new
they were
lease
having a problem with an
requests.
ambulance? We've had it 6 years. Normally we try to get 8 out of them. And I guess it was in an accident, it's got electrical problems.
Oh,
So
I
he's looking
didn't-
to replace it, whereas it normally would have been scheduled in 2 more years.
oh, I didn't see that.
In addition to a 25-year-old engine.
Where did you see that?
It was in where the fire budget was. It might have been about the
Oh.
last page of that.
Okay.
He had a letter on his request, and
Okay, I don't know why that
talking to
didn't
Kim, normally that would have got transferred to the capital budget, but I don't know what's going on with these numbers. But
Oh, yeah, he put the capital stuff in with the regular.
yeah, he was saying what he
Um,
wanted and why, which I don't blame him.
Yeah, no, it should have said it, but it should have been filed in the other section.
Exactly.
Where I could find it. Hmm. Huh. It doesn't say anything here about leasing.
Well, the big stuff like that, they do lease it for.
Yeah.
Well, the
right,
ambulance,
yeah.
we probably do 4 years because we do it's the number one ambulance for 4 years, and then it's the backup for 4 more, and then it's done. And our current backup is having
Yeah,
problems, so.
Yeah,
I
okay,
guess
it doesn't say the term. It says
No,
5% interest.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. It's a $360,000 ambulance, 5% interest, and then the payments are 108,000. So what is that? 4 years, 5 years?
I think it would be 4 because a few years back, they used to do 5 years on an ambulance, and because of mileage, we cut it back to 4.
Well, I'm trying to do the math. It's
4 times 108 is 432.
Yeah, and 5% for 4 years on 360 is so 20. So that's about 70,000, but
18 a year or something.
probably. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's probably 4 years then.
I'm thinking that, but
yeah. Okay. So I guess there's justification also for the piper, the pumper, the fire pumper suddenly became a piper.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
No, I think his rationale,
reaching
it's
the
been
end of
having a
its
few
useful life.
problems. 25 years old, that's when it's time to go.
Yeah.
And I think there's some other, I don't know if it's state documentations or whatever.
Oh, yes, yeah.
We
yeah.
shouldn't have stuff that old.
Right. Yep. Okay. So yeah, so we're okay with that. It's a lot of money, but I guess it's needed.
I know.
Really
He tries to spread things out so we only get hit with one piece of equipment a year, but
Yeah.
this ambulance messed him up, so.
I don't know if you can argue with that.
Yeah, right. Yep. Okay, so let me make a note of that.
Yeah, we can ask him. He'll give us a good explanation. And
well, I think, aren't we saying that the explanation is already good?
I think so. I mean, if anybody's got any more questions, that's fine. He'll be there.
Yeah. Okay.
He's easy to talk to and all that, and everything's good with
okay.
him, I think. So.
Okay, so that's fire. The next is highway.
We already got down to the end, didn't we, Gary? Oh, you're talking about the capital stuff, yeah. Right.
Capital, yeah. So highway has an existing lease, and that's it, right? I don't see anything new there.
Well, not under this year, so that's all right.
Yeah, okay.
So you moved down to purchase all other departments. We got a 49,500.
We still have the police.
The police
Yeah.
are up the top of that section. We're
oh,
paying
not on-
something on existing leases like we did last year and the year before. 3 new cruises at 34, normal.
and I'm not seeing the same thing you are, I don't think.
Okay, the first 8 pages, I'm on page 8.
These are
No,
the-
Halfway down it
no,
says
this is-
capital equipment.
Yeah. Right. Existing leases 55,578
Right.
and new cruiser 34,6.
Well, the cruiser, it's got an S and it's going to be a lease, and I believe we've been doing 3 a year. Unless we lose one somewhere, but we've been leasing 3 cruises every year for a number of years.
Here it says two existing. No, not. I'm confused.
Yeah, 2 existing.
2 existing,
One
yeah,
new.
and 1 new. I don't know
I don't
why
know, all right.
only one of the existing cruisers is listed in last year's budget, though.
Could this be the first year of a payment for a new one that was last year?
Did one get paid off?
Now, we've been doing 3 a year. Every year we'd lease 3 new ones. We'd be paying on 6 from the previous 2 years. And if they were still good, we'd keep them around as backup cars. And that's why sometimes
Yeah.
you used to see a whole bunch over there.
Yeah, and FY21, Gary, looking at this, it looks like there was a new request in FY21 for 27,795.84.
Yeah.
So that looks like that's the payment on FY22.
Could very well be. I don't know.
That's the lease.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
See the new request lease?
Yeah, new request. Oh,
See the FY21 on the column?
oh
below
yes,
that? Yeah,
yes,
that's what that
yes.
is, yeah. So that's why it wasn't there last year. Because it was new last year.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so we'd be paying for 3, right? Okay.
Right.
And
3 new ones, 6 that we started either last year or the year before. That's the way it had been running.
no,
And I'm not aware of any changes, so.
no, but there are only 3 in the budget
There were 6 back in FY19, but they've come off. Went
yes.
6,
Yeah,
5, 3. There was only 3 last year.
Yeah, after the 3 years, we buy them for $1 and run them
Yeah.
till it's not worth it.
Yeah. Okay. So we're okay with that?
I believe so.
Yep,
Yeah.
I am.
Okay. Okay, all other departments, those have been withdrawn.
Nope. Just the
no?
electronic vote tabulators have been withdrawn. There's also 2990 for software database for town clerk. And 26. Yeah.
Is that staying on the books? I thought.
Yeah, those are same. So there were 3 requests. It looks like, because if you remember in the what Tim sent the other day, budget adjustments, Cheryl had retracted her voting machines. And that's
Right.
what it looks like withdrawn. They took it out.
Yeah.
Just that line, but
But the 2990 is left in.
the 2990 and the 26300 is what makes up the 29220.
20. Yeah, right.
So those I believe is still in. I only saw the withdrawal for Cheryl's, and if you look carefully and closely, the withdrawn line is on that 3 electronic.
The withdrawn line. Okay, I see. Yeah. You're right. Okay.
So the other 2 is still in play.
I'm glad you're here.
You need lots of eyes on this.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So, So that's a compactor for the transfer station and software for the town clerk. Do we have any questions on those?
The only question that I have, and I don't know if it might be somewhere else I don't see, maybe someone else did, what software database is the town clerk looking for?
Don't know. Let's see.
I don't see anything.
Considering that there was nothing in the book from Capital, maybe it's under the town clerk's request. It's town clerk.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Nope. So we want,
I'd like to get clarification on that. What
okay,
type of software that is?
so town clerk software. Ask about it. Okay. So I think we've covered it.
We ran through it. We've got a couple of questions. I
Yeah.
think a number of them Peter will answer next week when we see him.
Yeah.
And I believe some of the department heads will be there. They can maybe answer their own.
Yep. Okay.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. So we'll see.
Yep. Okay. So anything else? We ready for dinner?
No, that was before we
Oh,
started today.
boy.
I got to eat early,
Yeah,
otherwise I'm going to lose it. No,
Yeah.
you might want to just double check with Luann about who's supposed to be at the meeting, because we've
Yeah.
had a couple of different answers on that.
Yeah.
That's all. So,
Right. Okay.
all right.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Well, thank you for your patience on all of this.
Oh, no
And
problem.
I'll-
It's stuff that's got to be done, and it works
Yeah,
smoother than I
yeah.
thought it might have. So that's all
Right.
good.
Yeah. Okay.
And I
so
hope
we'll-
we didn't confuse our new members, did we?
Yeah, it's a
No, I
lot.
actually enjoyed it.
It's a lot.
Okay, no, there's a lot to it. It's a long learning process, and don't worry about it. You're not going to catch it the first week by any means. And
Don't be afraid to ask questions.
I've been doing it 7 years, and I still get stumped on certain things I have to ask about.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay. So can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion, Christine.
Christine, and a
Margaret
second?
seconds.
Margaret. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Christine
Aye.
and Margaret
Aye.
and Emily
Aye.
and Katie
Aye.
and Kent
Aye.
and Gary. Aye. And it is 7:30. Okay, wow, 2 hours. So I'll see you all a week from tonight at 5:30 at the police station. And,
That's
yeah.
the plan, I guess. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Take care,
Thank you. See
everybody.
you then.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Night, everyone.
Yep. Bye now.